Change is the only constant. That's the golden rule. But often people don't wish to change. People don't wish to grow. People don't wish to become mature and accept the change because people fear change. The Lord knows that change is better for you. And if you're denying His decision, then you're pulling away yourself from the plan He has made for you. So don't resist the change. It's not in your control. Embrace it. Then only challenges will become achievable.
In the long history of the world, only a few generations have been granted the role of defending freedom in its hour of maximum danger. I do not shrink from this responsibility. I welcome it. I do not believe that any of us would exchange places with any other people or any other generation. The energy, the faith, the devotion which we bring to this endeavor will light our country and all who serve it. And the glow from that fire can truly light the world. And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
My friends, welcome to the Sheep Shear podcast. We're here we talk about people, politics, and popular culture. I'm your host, the one and only Austin Creed. I love that speech from JFK, his inaugural address. You know, we don't get a lot of speeches like that anymore. I can't help but notice that a lot of the speeches we have, from whether it be Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, Mitch McConnell, I can't believe during his speech I think he had a mini stroke or something. That was a little scary. But, my friends, you don't hear politicians talk like this anymore. And it goes to an entirely different issue that I think is an all-encompassing issue that I would like to talk about with you on the show today. And that, my friends, is change. Now, change is inevitable. We all know this. But more than anything, change is the only constant within our lives. Whether it be changes in our country, changes in our culture, changes in the people that we know, changes to our political orientation, or changes to our very life itself. All these things are all-encompassing, and they make up, in small little bricks, the house that is our life. My friends, I really want to explore this concept with you today on the show, because life is full of change. And the more you run from it, I like the quote from Thanos where he talks about dreading it, running from it, destiny arrives all the same. Now, whether you believe in destiny or not is up to you. But this idea of so you sow, so shall you reap is more what I'm getting at on the show today. When you look at your life, you may not realize, oh, how did this happen? How did I get here? How did I end up in this predicament, this problem, this new chapter in my life? How did I get here? Well, like all good stories, it progresses from beginning to end. And so there's a cause and effect that goes on. But when you don't like this cause and effect, you're tempted to run away. You're tempted to say, oh, no, I don't want that change, so I'm gonna push it away. I'm gonna say, no, this is unacceptable. I refuse to accept this. Well, my friends, I'm telling you this. The more you refuse to accept something, the more painful it's going to be. Because when it comes to change itself, some things are out of your control. I wish I could sit here and tell you that everything is in your control and you can always control your life 100% of the time, but you can't. You can control your reaction. You can control things up to an extent, but you cannot control everything in your life. I'm moving, actually, from the studio that you're looking at right now. I'm moving from it in the next coming weeks. So I'm going through this change as well. I went through one of these changes when I entered the military a couple years ago. I've been through these little chapters in my life. Whether these chapters were long, whether they were short, everyone goes through chapters in their life. And I know you're going through chapters in your life as well, and there are going to be some that we don't like. If you've read any story of any renown, you know that the main character doesn't always get what they want. They have to struggle for their inevitable victory to be worth it. That is exactly what goes on in your life right now. I guarantee you, if you're suffering, you're going through hard times, you feel like giving up, you want to throw in the towel, you're done with it, you don't want to hurt anymore, I can understand from an outsider perspective what you're going through. I can't fully empathize, even though I wish I could. But here's the problem. When we're at our lowest, we tend to feel powerless. We tend to lose perspective on the fact that nothing is permanent. Everything is temporary when it comes to our lives. Whether we're winning and we've never had it so good and we're winning and we love every second of our life, or we hate it. It sucks. We don't know what to do. We're barely holding on. Both of those extremes are just two examples of the same reality, that nothing lasts forever. So you need to be able to be versatile, and you need to be able to adapt to these changes that occur. Because make no mistake about it, this season in your life you're in right now, whether it's you're winning, you're grinding, you're losing, whatever it is you're doing, you need to prepare and know that it won't last forever. And you need to always be able to adapt, move, shift. I'll take it away from the personal for a second. I think I'm getting a little bit too in-depth. That might be scaring some people. So here's what we're going to do. I want to go back to the speech that JFK gave when there was a shift happening in the United States of America. Look at his predecessor, Ike Eisenhower, and into him, and then to JFK. There was this shift of kind of the old guard to the new guard. And what I mean by that is Eisenhower was an old school guy. He fought in World War II. He had a mature, older attitude that we see in a lot of politicians today. But JFK was one of the youngest presidents ever. And so you see this old guard general handing the keys of the kingdom to a young man. And this change was significant to the American people because not only did they want a new face of government, but they also wanted this change. He talks about change a lot in his inaugural address. If you have not heard the whole speech, I'd play it, but it would take up, I think his entire speech is like 16 minutes long. But this concept of change, we hear it in our politics today with progressivism. This idea of change for the sake of change is good. I 100% disagree with that. Change is not good because it's change. Change is only good because it has purpose. Change is only good if there is a reason for it, not just because it exists at all. If you want to sit there and tell me that because change is change, it's good, that's wrong. Change is only powerful. Change is only good if it's purposeful. Change will happen whether you like it or not, but you shouldn't seek change just for the sake of change. You should seek change because you're ready to move forward, because you want to move forward. You don't want to stay stagnant. You want to take that new step. There's power in that. Whether it's on a socioeconomic political level, like this example of Eisenhower to JFK, or whether it's a personal example, like with you in your life, whether it's you're going from high school to college, or you're going from college to the quote adulting world, or whether it's you're retiring, you're an older guy, older gal, and you're retiring, and you have so much time on your hands, you don't know what to do with it. All of these things are two sides of the same coin. This idea of change being something that inherently has a negative connotation to it. Now, change is just like any other inanimate object or abstract concept in that it's neutral. It can only be positive or negative if the person wills it so, if the person makes it so, if the person perceives it so. Like we've pointed out, change is inevitable. So what are you going to do with this fact? Are you going to run away? You're going to get upset? You're going to rage? You're going to harbor resentment? Why? Why would you do that? What benefit does that do for you? Because every new chapter in your life has a new opportunity, throws a new opportunity at you. Make no mistake about it. Luck is just preparation meeting opportunity. I've seen this in my own life. I've seen this in other people's lives, and they don't realize it. People think that luck just happens. No. Just because you're not paying attention, just because you don't see how A went to B, went to C, does not mean that A didn't turn into B, didn't become C. You see does that make sense? I hope that makes sense, because that's a principle that you need to fully embrace, to take that responsibility for your life so that you can you can enter the helm of your existence again, not feel like you're a passenger in the ride of your life. Because the more you think of yourself as a victim instead of a inevitable victor, then you're only going to, your mind, if you think of yourself as a victim, your mind will go out of its way to see that that is exactly what happens to you. Your mind is a powerful thing. And that's why if you want to help craft the change that you want, you need to change how you think about yourself, how you interpret information, and how you see the world as a whole. Because the more you see yourself as a victim, as helpless, as no good, or whatever it is, all these negative connotations, the more you think about yourself in the negative, the more the negative will naturally come to you. Napoleon Hill touches on this multiple times throughout his books. This idea of your mind being infinitely powerful. Infinitely powerful. The mind is something that should not be trifled with. Because everything on the planet, whether it's a giant building, a civilization, a brand, whatever it is, a product, everything starts off as an idea. So why the hell are you wasting yours? Why are you wasting your ideas on pornography? Why are you wasting your ideas on degeneracy? Why are you wasting on telling yourself you're no good? Why would you do that when men have built entire civilizations, made the world adapt to their vision, forced reality to embrace their genius off of an entire thought? And yet you throw yours away like it's garbage, like it's no good, like they're not valuable. Why would you do that? Why would you do that to yourself? I don't know. Look, I don't say this as someone who's always known this. I had to figure this out for myself. I'm not all-knowing. I learn new things every day, and that's why I share them with you, despite the change going on in my life. This show is a constant for me because I love doing it. What do you love to do? Find out, because if you don't know, you're behind. And I don't want you to be behind. I want you to get ahead. Because those who are ahead can help instruct those who are behind. And that's not meant to be derogatory. It's meant to prove a point. Because you'd be surprised at how many people are behind. My friends, I think I made my point. And speaking of change, I got to get back. I got stuff to do. And I know you got stuff to do too. Like I said, everything comes to an end. Just like the show will come to an end, just like the chapter of your life will come to an end. Nothing is constant. The only thing constant is change. So you must be the one who helps dictate that change as much as possible, or at least control your emotions surrounding that change you are trying to craft. My friends, God bless you. God bless your family. God bless America. We're out of here. Having a great rest of your day. And I look forward to hearing. If you want to respond to this question I'm going to pose after the show is over, you can head over to my Twitter page, Chief Kachir, or you can head over to the comment section of YouTube or Rumble. Whatever works for you, works for me. Take care of yourselves. We're out of here. Peace.